Sorry. Very dramatic this morning. I'm just shuffling all the decks and waiting for my computer to load the chat so I can respond to y'all. Please help me to cleanse all negative energy, entity, and spirits from my body, from my home, and from my cards, so that I may offer clear, honest messages to Taurus. Thank you. Oh, that feels lovely today. Okay, one more deck, and then we'll get on our way. Okay, there we go. I've got the chat up. Welcome, Jennifer. Oh, I'm so glad you could make it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it's finally loaded over here for me. So if you see me look over here, I'm checking my computer. If you comment anything in the chat, I want to be able to respond. I want to be able to answer. So please feel free to comment and ask questions, especially if you're here for the Taurus reading. So lovely to have you here, everybody. We're going to be getting general predictions for Taurus, specifically looking at the month of October. We're going to try to get predictions about everything and anything. So in this general predictions reading, usually finances and career comes out, your mental health and well-being will come out, and friends and family may come out. If you're interested in more love-specific readings, I do those in the middle of the month, and I'm planning on doing those as a live stream as well. So make sure that you are subscribed and notified of when I go live so you can be a part of that session as well. But welcome, everybody. I'm just seeing all your names pop up in the chat. So lovely to have you all here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Honestly, Celine, I like to look at my big three, especially if my sun sign doesn't resonate as much. So I go for my sun, moon, rising. In terms of general predictions reading, your moon sign may help you understand what is subconsciously going on for you in the month ahead, what challenges you may be processing privately in terms of subconsciously, or when you're kind of at home and with your comfortable people. It is helpful. It just depends if you've got time. That's what I would say, because it's going to be a lot of information to try to absorb. So let us get into it. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Anchal. Welcome back. Let's start by pulling our three cards for our Taurus bebes. These three cards are going to tell us what Taurus can expect to experience in the month ahead. I'm going to use this deck again. I started using this for Sagittarius and it really helped us. So let's do it again. Spirit, what are Taurus's main themes for October? You know what I just realized, Taurus? You and Libra are very connected through Venus. So there might be a little bit of like a positive shift for you in October. The first card I have for you is Gravitational Acceleration. We do have to consider all those retrogrades too, though. What is the next theme for Taurus? We're going to take these together, apparently. We have the Big Bang. Okay, that hasn't come out yet for anybody. And we have Selective Shield. I love this card. Okay. I see you being hyper-focused on something that is very inspirational, very energetically demanding in a good way. It gives you a sense of vitality, a sense of purpose, a sense of excitement. But when it comes to everything else, you may be struggling to kind of stay focused on other things, other responsibilities, other situations. We'll see what Tarot says about that. So I'm going to shuffle it back in because I didn't set the intention. Spirit, what is the last theme for Taurus in the month of October? I'm going to take this card. We have Synchronous Rotation. Interesting. We've got some beautiful, crazy physics cards today. At the back of the deck, we have Expansion. So I was feeling a positive shift for you, mostly because of that Libra energy. I feel like the month of October... Sneaky snake. I thought my phone was on silent. It always does that. You okay, sweets? Yoda, careful please. Careful. The babies. All the doggos and the cats. The cat will probably join us later, Kirky, but we do have the dog in here. So that expansion is your bottom deck energy. I definitely feel like this is a positive shift, but I feel like it's something that you're doing. I can't help but feel like you're putting a lot of energy into something in October, and you're the one who's creating expansion. Do you know how sometimes when I talk about expansion, I talk about it as like the universe trying to guide you to expand by like giving you opportunities to expand? Well, in your case, it feels like you're the one who's trying to make this happen. You feel very focused on something or someone, and you're really trying to make something good out of this. You're trying to grow it, you're trying to fertilize it, and you're trying to really ensure that it reaches the level of success that you foresee it being. So let's have a look at your first theme now, gravitational acceleration. I'm going to get tarot out to clarify, but we will also be getting messages from the deck. Let me read the chat real quick. Hi, dear. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Well, it's probably nighttime for some of you, but it is morning here. Okay, Spirit, clarify gravitational acceleration for Taurus. What is going on with that theme? The Ace of Candles, there's that passion, there's that sense of purpose, that sense of vitality, excitement. What is going on for Taurus? We have the Nine of Candles. Yeah, you're not going to give this up easily. You really want it to be successful. We have the Nine of Potions, the Queen of Needles, the Hanged Man. Okay. So potions are cups, candles are wands, needles are swords. We also have the Hanged Man. So I definitely almost see you guys obsessing over this passionate new opportunity. It could have to do with your creativity for some of you. It's definitely something that is an outlet of energy for you, a source of creation, because you're putting energy into it. But I feel like you're putting so much effort into this, you're being met with challenges and resistance. Maybe one of those main challenges is how much energy you're putting into this versus what you're getting out. But I still feel like nobody can tell you anything. Like, you're just going to put your head down and stubbornly persist. Like, you're just going to do it, regardless of what other people are telling you. Because I do feel like this is something that makes you very happy with the Nine of Potions. You find it to be very emotionally fulfilling. You find a lot of joy, is what I want to say. But I also think that it's really good for your well-being and your mental health. I think with the Queen of Needles, you have a plan that you're trying to, or some sort of vision that you're trying to see come into reality. And that Hanged Man makes me think that there is a little bit of an obsession around this. Like, you're quite fixated on it. It feels very Neptunian, this Hanged Man. Like, this Santa is just hanging there, but it feels like you're just kind of hanging in there as well. I want to clarify that gravitational acceleration card with their guidebook. Keep in mind the card is reversed as well. And have another look at it. We can see this thing, I'm assuming it's like an asteroid coming towards this target. And I feel like with this card reversed, you're very determined to move towards some sort of target, to the point where it's a little extreme. It's the best way I could describe it. Like, I can't say this is bad because you're doing it for your happiness. So I just think that it's almost obsessive is what it feels like. So can we get any other messages from the guidebook about this, Spirit? I did this the hard way, apparently. Gravitational acceleration. Gravitational attraction is the force which makes an object move towards the core of a celestial body, dispensing with possible atmospheric resistance and constantly increasing its speed. Clear direction and force of action. The previous speed of the process changes its rhythm and accelerates towards the defined target. So you want to be careful of accidentally, stubbornly moving towards something at your own expense. This card, when it's upright, is talking about changing its rhythm to make sure that it gets to its clear direction with the right amount of force of action. But when it's reversed, I feel like what's going on here is you have the force, you have the desire to make this happen, but the direction may be unclear. You may be getting little hints from the universe, like, hey Taurus, why don't you try to, you know, recalibrate your settings and move in this direction instead so that you're more successful. You have determination, you have strength, you have the energy, you have the vitality. I just think that we need to recalibrate the settings, because I'm getting this really heavy energy of you burning a lot of energy into this, to the point where it is kind of impinging on other aspects of your life. Is there anything else you can tell Taurus before we get advice about this theme? Is there anything else about this theme? We have 2 Pentacles cards, the 6 of Pentacles reversed and the 2 of Pentacles upright. At the back of the deck, we have the High Priestess. So definitely pay more attention to your intuition when it comes to this situation. And that doesn't mean your head, your logical head, because that's what's getting you into trouble a little bit. Your logical mind is so attached to wanting this to play out exactly as you intended it to. But your intuitive being is trying to warn you about recalibrating your effort, especially with the 6 of Pentacles reversed. I almost feel like this is your intuition saying, you know what, work smarter, not harder. Is there another way that we can do this? Can we borrow resources to help us out instead? Can we be limiting the amount of money we put into this before we make money, for example, because this could indicate you putting too much money into something, or having to take a loan out in order to get it off the ground at your own expense in a situation that may take time to repay. The 2 of Pentacles upright is telling me that it's a situation that could be very busy for you. Like, I think that this is going to need to be a day-to-day thing. You shouldn't kind of start it as like a 5-year plan. You should start it as a, okay, this is what I expect. And then in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to reflect and, you know, have a honest look at my progress, and then maybe we can readjust from there. Because the 2 of Pentacles for me is about like your daily routine and how busy you may be within that daily routine. It's also about like the immediate future for me, and just kind of making sure that when you are committing yourself to your responsibilities, to your tasks, you're not taking on too much at once. That card could indicate that you will be very busy, and this is either a helpful distraction or a harmful distraction at times in the month of October. Because again, it's good for your well-being, but it takes a lot of energy away from other things that are happening. So what is the advice for Taurus when it comes to that theme? What is the advice for Taurus? Oops. Yeah, okay. We have deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and be held at the back of the deck. I definitely think that Spirit is trying to warn you to just take it easy. Like, it's making me think of that card that says a life's work. You know, get off the treadmill. Don't try to do it all at once, basically. Take your time to just recalibrate and readjust if necessary. Now, the first card that came out for you was the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? And I'll be honest with you, this card only really comes out when our behavior is a little bit harmful, when we need to maybe recheck what we're doing to ensure that we're not forcing things to happen unnecessarily. And we got that message from the beginning with you. So with this theme, Taurus, just make sure that you're not forcing things to happen in an unhelpful way, to the point where you're going against the grain and you're going against what your intuition and logic is trying to tell you as well, because your head is so determined. But the reality of the situation is you do need to kind of pull back and readjust so that you're not putting too much into this, whether that's money, effort, time, energy, all of the above. We also have the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So you got to appreciate that those little hiccups, those little challenges that you're trying to ignore, they're actually helpful. They're like little, you know, when you go to a bowling alley and there's that option to put the rails up so the ball doesn't go in the gutter. That's exactly what those little obstacles and challenges are. They're kind of helping you see certain red flags or certain opportunities to redirect your energy before it goes really bad. It's an opportunity to kind of look at your situation and go, is that a sign from the universe that maybe I should readjust my throwing pattern here so I'm not hitting the gutter next time when the rails are down? We also have Mintaken, longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers. I think that this is a sign that whatever you're working on, it's not that it's going to fail. I don't want you to look at this and think, oh damn, like I'm just not going to start at all then. I'm going to save myself and not bother. It's not that at all. I think it's more so about aligning your authenticity and that special part that makes you you with whatever this is. I really genuinely feel like this makes you happy and it gives you a sense of purpose and direction. And that card is a strong, like, nostalgic feeling of wanting to belong somewhere and feeling like you don't belong anywhere. So if you found your place and it's really like something that you want to put a lot of energy into, I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but I just hope that this advice helps to cope with those other feelings that will come up throughout the month as you put a lot of effort and energy into this. So let's go on to your next theme now, the Big Bang and the selective shield. And this was actually the theme that made me pick up all of that intuitive energy at the beginning of your reading. But for some reason, it's a completely different theme. So let's get some tarot out to clarify, what is this Big Bang selective shield energy? Because the Big Bang for me is like the scientific source of creation, right? It's the moment when particles collided and the universe was created. But that selective shield reverse is making me think that despite this creation feeling and despite this opportunity to kind of expand, we are also maybe either moving too quickly and the shield of, protection and boundaries and caution is completely off, or it's this feeling of you trying to really help somebody else out at your own expense and you're putting your guard down and you're really just, they want this big bang moment, so you're going to help them have this big bang moment. Spirit, what is going on with this big bang theme? We have the Seven of Needles reversed, so somebody else is involved. Three of Potions reversed, a friend or a colleague. Honestly, clarify what this big bang feeling is, please, Spirit. We have the Two of Needles. Okay, so remember, needles are swords. We have the King of Needles. Who is this person? How does Taurus know them? The Three of Candles. There's someone from your past. Someone from your hometown for some of you. How does Taurus know them? Three of Presents. You either worked with them or you went to school with them. They could be a sibling. You care about them, but why is Taurus helping them so much? What is Taurus doing for them? The Two of Presents and the Eight of Presents reversed. They need money help. You got to be a little bit careful here. I'm seeing financial. I'm seeing a workplace situation where you're helping them out with their work. Is it something that Taurus wants? The Fool card reversed. I think it's a stepping stone for you. For some of you, this is a work situation. A friend or someone from your childhood is going to help you get employment. And, excuse me, my nose is just getting really itchy on this side. It feels like the goal is to have a temporary elevation from your current circumstances, but you are in this energy where you need to really make sure that your mindset is looking at it as temporary. Oh, hi everyone, welcome. I just think that there is the tendency here to accidentally get wrapped up in it. And I think with the Two of Needles, the main issue here is how you communicate with this person. It feels like there could be a conflict of interest in this situation because either they're your close friend or they're a sibling or they're somebody who you are quite energetically invested in. Like, the way I would describe it is you used to spend a lot of time with this person. Now not so much, but they're helping you out with some sort of like financial matter or some sort of work situation. They may even be physically helping you like get a job. And I just feel like there is a disheartened feeling behind all of this. With the Seven of Needles reversed and the Three of Potions reversed, we're almost seeing that what we're needing or what they're helping us with is at the expense of our relationship to them. And there is either a feeling of guilt or a feeling of like this changes our relationship dynamic. And I think with the Five of Needles reversed, there is just this strong feeling of if there are any drama, if there's any drama, any grievances, any issues, any conflicts, you should be very expressive and communicative and just talk about it. Don't let it settle and fester inside you, because that's where I see there being issues. I also think with the King of Needles, if you have an idea that you think could be really helpful for a friend, October seems to be the month of you helping your friends specifically. You seem to be really reaching out and wanting to kind of help the people who you feel you've neglected for some reason, Taurus. It feels like you're out here trying to kind of, if you have a good idea for someone, you want to message them and you want to say like, hey, so-and-so, make sure that you do this today, or make sure you follow through with what you were talking about last night. I think you can do it. I really believe in you. Oh, thank you so much, polar bear kisses. But I just think like you're really like out here, you feel like you've got all this energy and you want to share it with people, and you're looking at how they can help you, and you're seeing it as a stepping stone moment. You help me, I help you, let's help each other. But there are going to be conflicts of interest along the way where you may need to kind of step back and go, am I wanting this growth with the help of my close friend at the expense of our relationship? Or am I wanting this growth with the help of my family member at the expense of our family connection? I just feel like at the end of the day, there's someone who needs more help getting ahead with some sort of goal or work application, something to do with them kind of getting their finances in order. And you don't want it to be at the expense of your relationship to them. Let me just shuffle and I'll get more cards, just in case there's anything else there that I've missed. Is there anything that I've missed here, Spirit? What is this Big Bang Selective Shield energy? I see it coming with really good intentions, Taurus. You're eating and you want everybody else to eat too. You just want that generosity to kind of go around. And I'm not seeing it as a bad form of being generous. It's just like slight shifts in energy, because you would know, like logically, it's difficult working with your family or your partner or your brother, your sister, your mother, your father. We got the main character card coming out. So I feel like there is a lot of main character energy here, and you're wanting to help people build their main character energy. We got a lot of threes here too, that idea of expansion and just really focusing on growth and fertility, but only one of those threes is upright, and it's the Three of Pentacles. We have the Three of Candles reversed, the Three of Potions reversed. We just had the Hermit come out as well. At the back of the deck, we have the Five of Wands again, you guys, and it's reversed again. So there's Five of Wands, trying to stop arguments before they happen, trying not to let there be bad blood, conflict, arguments. I even see you playing Peacekeeper, but you don't want that to happen with you either. You want to make sure that in this theme, this beautiful intention of creation with the Big Bang isn't going to be at the expense of your close connections. So let me just check the guidebook to see if there's any other messages on those two cards. We'll start with the Big Bang, although it is fairly self-explanatory. You just never know with this deck. So, expansion, expansion, expansion. That's what this card is about, and we have expansion at the back of the deck. So a number for you is 999. The Big Bang explodes. It took a powerful movement to make way for the creation of everything that is, but how much beauty came out of it. It is the largest expansion we have ever experienced. The Big Bang gives origin, beginning, a new start, opening, life, and creation, but requires a huge previous explosion to start it. It is not a movement which dances softly or a learning which develops within us over time. The Big Bang explodes. but what does it bring? Expansion, expansion, expansion. So this card is also a slight tower moment, but in a positive way. It's talking about abrupt and sudden changes that can be difficult to adapt to. So for some of you, October month could be a month of you trying to make something happen very quickly, and those around you, you could be reaching out to them for support and just saying like, you know, I have this idea and I really want it to work, and would you consider helping me? And I feel like you are in a position where a lot of people would want to help you. That's not the problem. You got a lot of people who are like, yes, Taurus, because they know that you're good for it. They know that you'll reciprocate, you'll balance it out with the Two of Pentacles. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I just think be wary of how it may impact your relationships to them. Let's have a look at the selective shield now. Yes. The King of Needles. It's a very different deck. What was I doing? Selective shield. Yes. Selective shield. Oh, okay. So this card is the awareness of the energy surrounding us. We distance ourselves from people, we get closer to others, then we look back and we do not really understand who we were and how we are so different now. We distance ourselves for a while, we meet again later, we connect with people as if we've known them our whole lives, while others that we have known always suddenly feel alien to us. All these sequences are linked to your vibration. You attract what vibrates similarly or in the same way to you. If your energy changes, so does your environment. Let yourself be carried away by that total feeling of an absolute being where I have to be and with whom I have to be with. So with that card reversed, I definitely see people from your past popping up because they are more connected to your energy now than they were before. You may need something from them, or you may just have more similar interests to them. These aren't people who you don't wish to see again. They're just people who you would have distanced yourself from naturally, which is what we did pick up in your reading as well. So let's get some closing advice for this theme. What is the closing advice? Ooh. Oh, okay. We'll take it. We have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. If you've been watching a few of these readings, you know that that card has come out a lot lately. What else can you tell Taurus about this advice for this theme? Okay, we're going to take those two cards. We have mirror, who or what is triggering you? And that's that Five of Candles reversed. It actually feels like someone is helping you from a triggering situation or a difficult situation. I think that is a positive energy, although that card usually talks about being triggered in like a negative way or in quite a confrontational way. In your reading with two of them reversed at the back of the decks, it feels more like you trying to stop something from getting really bad, trying to work with the energy before it blows up. We also have soul family, Taurus, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Yes, I definitely see that a huge part of this theme is working with the right people in the right way so that you can help yourself expand in the way that you want to, and they can help, you can help them expand, they can help you expand. It's very much this feeling of supporting each other and just being mindful of the relationships there and ensuring there's no conflict of interest. So let's have a look at your Synchronous rotation theme now. This is your last theme for October. It's an interesting card because personally I haven't pulled it out before, I don't think. But it just feels like this balance, this feeling of harmony that you're trying to achieve. It also feels like you're trying to, like the rotation card is to make sure that things do stay balanced. But with that card reversed, that could be a bit of a challenge for you. Again, your routine could be really disrupted, or the little things could just be really kind of difficult to stay on top of. The Five of Candles wants to come out again, this time upright. Clarify that Synchronous rotation theme. Synchronous, I should say. But anyway, we have the Six of Potions as well. So 6 and 3 seem to be really common for you in this theme. That's interesting because your portal card was 999. So 333, 666, and 999 seem to be significant numbers for you. We have the Four of Needles. Is there anything else? We have the Eight of Needles. Okay, so You're putting a lot of thought. Well, actually, no, that's the problem, I think, is you're not putting enough thought into this. At the back of the deck, we have the Strength card reversed. So what is happening here for Taurus Spirit? This is interesting. I want to say that this Five of Candles is a change in your energy that other people are struggling with. Your energy seems to be focused on other things. We know that already. And in this theme, you're maybe having a hard time trying to balance everything out so that your life and your connections and relationships are all working well together. I almost feel like that Six of Potions is a strong connection that you share with somebody. This could be a partner, or like someone who you're trying to get to know better. It could even be someone from your childhood. You seem to be connected to a lot of people in the month ahead. So there's an important connection to you here. And this person is feeling challenged by the fact that your energy is changing. And in October, you seem to be focused on other things. You seem to be very determined. And this person is having a hard time getting the attention that they want from you. It's not so much about attention though. It feels like they're concerned about how your energy has changed. And with the Eight of Needles, either you're not wanting to pay attention to that, you're like burying your head in the sand and going, it's not a big deal, like it's not a big deal at all, or you're having a hard time empathizing with them because you're seeing yourself here as the victim, as someone who needs support, and so you're having a hard time being supportive to them in that situation. It almost feels like you're looking at it as, how can you make this about you? It's about me. And so I do think that there is going to be this kind of back and forth with this person. There's a lot of love for them, there's a lot of care for them, but there is this feeling of, how can you make this about you? It's about me. With the Four of Needles being there, I feel like you're going to spend time just trying to kind of calm down. You're not wanting to blow up. That Five of Candles can sometimes talk about arguments, and that's what you want to avoid with the Four of Needles here. That's the Four of Swords. I see you trying to take a rest or trying to take a break even from this relationship, from this person, because you don't want to say something that you're going to regret. You also don't want to have a difficult conversation. You feel like it's not necessary. You also think that you should just be able to move on from this, like it's not a big deal, it's not a big issue. What does the guidebook say about synchronous rotation? Yeah, well, it's not so much that there's someone from your past, there's someone from your childhood. So you think of that as like a sibling, a parent, a close friend from your childhood, or someone who you have a very sort of warm connection with in this theme. That Six of Cups energy is likened to like a soulmate energy, someone who's very healing and helpful, and that's why you don't want to have an argument with them. What is this synchronous road? Oh, I'm going backwards. Rotation about. Because they seem to be a little bit concerned, but you're like, it's not a big deal. So this card that we're talking about, in this deck, it is known as the Two Faces of the Moon card. So do you know where the expression the two faces of the moon comes from? Not a single day has passed or will ever pass where the moon shows its other face. The gravity of one body slows the orbit of another, so that it always has the same face. The far side of the moon is the one we have never seen from the Earth. We always see the same side as the moon rotates at the same speed as it orbits around the Earth. This card warns us about the hidden, what we do not see. The interesting thing here is that it is not about a lack of vision, but about what does not wish to be seen or who does not wish to be shown. So with this card reversed, maybe someone is getting outed. They're showing their true colors, or they're showing an uglier side of their personality that we're not used to. And I feel like they're thinking that about you too, Taurus. They're looking at you and going, you know what? I'm seeing a side to you that I've never seen before. I don't know how I feel about this. So what else can you tell us about this theme that we haven't heard already? What else does Taurus need to know about this theme? We have the Six of Wands reversed here. Someone isn't feeling appreciated. Someone's feeling like they're not getting enough attention. They're not getting enough recognition. We have the Ace of Cups upright with Judgment reversed. They're worried about For some of you, they're worried about someone that you are connecting with in October. It does feel a bit protective, this energy. It could be a parent. They're a little bit worried about who you're connecting with in October. And it feels like they're worried about things because the situation reminds them of something from the past. Especially if they're older, they may be looking at you and going, this happened to me when I was your age, you know, get that kind of talk. Or they could be saying like, make sure this doesn't happen the way it did in the past for you. It's interesting. They're trying to kind of stop something from happening. And it has to do with a connection that you're kind of bringing energy into in October. This is either someone that you have met in October or someone who you are kind of putting more effort into in October. The King of Discs. I feel like they're being very protective. They're trying to be responsible, but they're also trying to manage you. They're trying to kind of go, Taurus, you're my responsibility. Like, I have to look after you. It's very much feeling like authority figure. It just feels like they're put their big boots on and they're like, you know what, Taurus, back in my day, if I was going to do that, this would have been the worst, you know, like it just feels very much like they think they know better for you, so they're going to try to make sure that you don't end up in the worst case scenario. Four of Wands, so it does feel like a family member or someone who is like in your home environment, like a really close person. And they want balance, they want stability. They're seeing this situation as something that they may need to fix for you. What the heck? Can we get advice here for Taurus, please, Spirit? What is the advice for them in this situation? What is the advice for Taurus in this situation? It could be coming from a financial point of view too, like, because I was getting a message of you guys, some of you, not all of you, but that first thing was about you putting a lot of money into something and it's a bit dangerous. So maybe this person is like trying to kind of manage that and saying like, Taurus, be careful of that. You don't want to make that mistake. You want to be careful. What is the advice when dealing with this synchronous rotation? Wow, at the back of the deck we have releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives unbound. For some of you, your advice is to kind of, how do I word this? Because you have so much love for this person. Unbound is about liberating yourself. It's about releasing yourself from an unfair situation which has been oppressing you, which may mean standing up for yourself and voicing your rights. But it does feel like when it comes to this connection, this situation, Unbound is really asking you to kind of put this person in their place a little bit and remind them that this is your situation and it's your responsibility. It's not their responsibility. That card ultimately is just talking about getting yourself out of a pattern with this person and in this situation where you're the one that's kind of bound and restricted and oppressed, and they're the one that does it. And it feels very, in this situation, unnecessary and unfair. We also have Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So this card would only ever come out when there is a strong indication of your spiritual team, your loved ones, your guides, your angels, your ancestors really being around you in that moment, guiding you and prompting you to take action in specific ways. So please pay attention to the signs. Ask your loved ones for help. They are always listening, the ones on the other side. You are not alone. In that situation, it may be helpful for you to ask somebody else close to you for support, especially if this is a family situation. Maybe asking another family member for support could be helpful, but this card is mostly just letting you know that you are always supported energetically by your spiritual team. We also have Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. So in this situation, it almost makes me think that there may be a huge moment of clarity here with this card in the reverse position. Because if it was upright, it would be telling us that Taurus, there's something over here that you're not seeing and you got to pay attention. But with that card reversed, you're seeing something very clearly in October. Someone is showing you their most authentic self. They're showing you their true colors, their true desires, and their true nature. So that card, I feel, is really about you paying attention to the truth and really understanding how that truth is going to be helpful when moving forward, because it's something where you kind of go, okay, like it's good to know that about you now. It's good to know that you're someone who likes to be so kind of authoritative and managerial, even though this could be your older brother, or or this could be your father. Like it just feels like they take a lot of control of the situation. And lastly, we have take a break, a life's work, not a season, get off the treadmill. I knew this card was going to come out for you. I just didn't expect it to come out in this part of your reading. So that card does talk about taking a break and getting a rest. And I think in that situation, that's what you're going to do anyway. With the Four of Needles, you're going to put space between you and this person because you want to break from them. You want to kind of get away from them. You want to make sure that you're not losing the best parts of your vitality, your passion, your purpose, your creativity because of them. So I do see you kind of taking the truth of their character, their nature, and then kind of giving yourself space to process what you've seen, and which is a healthy thing to do. You may be getting support from other people in the meantime, and then just really trying to see how this changes the road forward for you, because this kind of clarity in terms of this person's true nature does change how you interact with them in future. It's going to make you a bit more careful about what you share with them and when you ask them for support, because you don't want them to just kind of become your manager in that situation. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Taurus, when it comes to the month of October. That is everything, I believe. I hope this reading was helpful and informative. I hope the advice was helpful as well. I'm going to end the reading now, and we'll start doing Virgo's October prediction next in a different live stream. But I really hope that you have a prosperous, successful, abundant, joyful, and happy month ahead. Please look after your beautiful self. I'm excited for you because you seem to be really focused on something very exciting. I'd be curious to see where this goes for you. Please look after your well-being as well, like we saw in the beginning of your reading. And I hope to connect with you in another video. Bye.